Welcome to Dobby's Repairs. I'm Dobby the Fixing Elf. In this video we're going to be replacing the rear shock absorbers on this 2006 Suzuki Wagon R. Replacing these worn out shock absorbers will really improve the handling and the comfort of the ride. So grab your tools and let's get fixing. So we've already got the car jacked up and we've got the axle supported with a lump of wood and the jack to stop it dropping when we release the two bolts that we're going to undo in a moment. There's the lower one and here's the upper one. This is just in the wheel arch. It may be sealed by some mud like this one was. You have to scrape it all off. I just put an 80mm spanner CSA on the back of it, and I tried to undo it with my ratchet. It wouldn't come undone, so I have to use an impact, which we'll see in just a moment. But there's the 80mm on the back there as well. And yes, I'm going to use the impact I said earlier to just put it on there. They can be quite stiff sometimes, but this one came out relatively easily with a bit of impacting, and it just buzzed it out. They can get seized inside the little sleeve here, and that makes it a real nightmare. But I got quite lucky with this one. Now we're going to remove this E18 bolt that's down the bottom of the shock absorber here, as you can see. I'll just speed things up to make it a bit easier for you and a bit quicker. Obviously it helps if you go the right way. I wasn't going the right way at the start here, but there we are. Now we're going the right way, we can remove it. They do get quite seized in. Again, these can also get seized in. I'm doing it on the passenger side of the car, which is the most difficult because the fuel tank is in the way. The other side is a lot easier without the fuel tank there. But as you can see, this one will be buzzed out nice and easily now. And we get the shock absorber out. That's the old shock absorber, it's really worn out. So I'll just compare the new shock absorber to the old one. As you can see, there's not a lot of use left in that shock absorber. Take it out of the bag so you can actually have a closer look at it. And yeah, you just need to remove this little band around it for the travelling. I'll show you that in just a second. But they've got the right size fitting and everything, so that's all good. And fresh bushings, that's what we need. So now here's the old shock absorber and the new shock absorber side by side, as you can see. I can barely push the new one down, and when I do push it down it comes straight back up. The old one doesn't come back up at all, so it's really worn out and really affecting the handling. And now we're going to start the assembly. I've put a bit of copper grease on this bolt to stop it from seizing in, and you always want to make the drive for the next guy easier, so by doing that I'll make it a lot easier for him. Now we're going to line up the shock absorber and the bolt, just pop it through and then get it on the shock absorber. Sometimes you need to give them a bit of a gentle tap just to get them through. And there we are. Once that's through, we just quickly put the nut on the back of it, and this will just stop it from falling off where we were putting it in the bottom part. You don't want to tighten these up until you've got both bolts in place, because otherwise it might not reach and it just makes it more difficult. So just put this nut on. There we go, that's started now. And now we're going to line up the bottom bolt. So there we are. Again, I put a small bit of copper grease on here. Kind of hard to see, but I have put a tiny bit on there. And we're going to start threading it in. And now I've got it happily lined up, we can start tightening it down. I always like to tighten the bottom one first, then finish off on the top one. So we're just going to tighten it down with the E18 again. There we go. It's nice and simple. Again, I've sped things up so you haven't got to sit through the whole tightening process. There we go. That's now nice and tight. We'll go back at the top. Obviously, as you mentioned, you've got to put the spanner on the back of it and hold it nice and tight. So this, you can just see the spanner in the corner there. And yeah, we're going to tighten it down now. Not the camera over too, that's always the best way. And yeah, just tighten it down nice and securely. And we'll come back and talk these down in just a moment. Again, these are 80mm. And yeah, this job, surprised by how much of a difference it makes to the handling of the car by replacing these shocks. There we go. Now we can come back with our torque wrench, and we're going to torque it down to 85 Nm. So that's now torqued down. Make sure you get nice and tight. Make sure you've got the spanner on the back wedged up against it very securely so it doesn't move the nut. And there we are, that is now done. We're going to go down the bottom. Again, 85 Nm for this as well. And once we've got this bolt tightened down, we've completed this lovely job. Quite a straightforward one really. And yeah, any questions, drop them in the comments. Like and subscribe if you're new, or just want to support the channel. And that's how you replace the rear shock absorbers on this 2006 Suzuki Wagon R. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or entertaining, don't forget to hit that like button. It really helps both the channel and me out. If you're new here, consider subscribing. I post 2 videos a week, so by subscribing, you'll never miss a thing. Got any questions or suggestions? Drop a comment down below, and I'll do my best to reply to everyone. Here at W Repairs, we're all about helping you learn how to work on your vehicle safely and showing you don't need to spend a fortune on tools to get the job done. Want to support the channel further? Become a member, starting at just 99p. Members get perks like early access to videos and more exclusive content. Keep fixing, and I'll see you in the next one.